Welcome, listeners, to another episode of the Bedtime Bookshelf. Tonight, we journey to the shimmering digital landscapes of Neotropolis, where past and future intertwine in unexpected ways. Dive into a world where memories are immortalized and consciousness lives beyond the tangible. Prepare to decode the Aria protocol, dim the lights, relax, and let this tale from the future transport you to a realm of technological marvels and age-old human connections.
In the heart of a sprawling landscape where forests seamlessly meshed with gleaming metal, Neotropolis rose, a beacon of mankind's accomplishments. Its crystalline towers refracted sunlight in rainbow patterns, while gravity-defying transit tubes crisscrossed the skies. The melding of natural greenery with the futuristic architecture gave it a harmony that seemed out of a dream. But beyond its physical splendor, Neotropolis was a hub for the pinnacle of technological achievement. It was a city where every citizen led a dual existence. On one hand, they went about their daily routines in the physical world. On the other, they existed digitally, interacting in a sprawling virtual landscape, a feat made possible through the city's quantum link interface. As the morning sun bathed the city's eastern sectors, a cafe overlooking a terraced waterfall buzzed with patrons. Most sat with VR glasses, lost in their digital worlds. Among them was a middle-aged man, hair graying at the temples, bearing an expression of deep concentration. His name was Dr. Leo Valen, a renowned tech archaeologist. Pulling off his VR glasses, Leo sighed. "It's impressive, but it's just not the same," he murmured, looking around. A voice responded from the next table. "Looking for authenticity in Neotropolis is like searching for a needle in a virtual haystack." A woman with piercing blue eyes and short-cropped platinum hair smirked at him. Leo chuckled. "True, Nix, but that's what makes it exciting, doesn't it? There's history hidden somewhere beneath all these layers of code and gleam." She raised an eyebrow. "Speaking of which, any new relics you're chasing?" He leaned in, lowering his voice. "Perhaps. I've got a lead on something. Old. From the time before the QLI revolution. It might just be a rumor, but if it's real..." Nix grinned. "A journey into the past? Count me in." Leo's eyes twinkled. "I was hoping you'd say that." The Tech Museum of Neotropolis wasn't the sterile, white-walled structure one would expect. It was a magnificent fusion of old and new, stone and metal, wood and glass, ancient artifacts beside their futuristic counterparts. Like the city itself, the museum was a testament to the harmonious balance of nature, history, and advanced technology. Dr. Leo Valen walked along the central pathway, his shoes echoing lightly against the polished marble floor. The museum's overhead holographic displays narrated the rich history of tech advancements. Yet, amidst the glamour of the latest inventions, Leo was drawn to the section labelled Pre-QLI Era. Rows of ancient computers, screens, and old-world tech gadgets sat behind transparent barriers. Each artifact seemed like an echo from a bygone era, a piece of history that had shaped the future. There were relics from the early days of the internet, the inception of artificial intelligence, and even the first VR headsets. As Leo inspected each piece, he felt a deep reverence for the pioneers who had made today's digital wonders possible. While engrossed in an ancient holographic projector, a familiar voice broke his concentration. "Lost in nostalgia, Dr. Valen." Leo turned to find Marcus, the museum's curator and an old college mate. With a sheepish grin, Leo replied, "Always, Marcus. It's hard not to be when surrounded by such treasures." Marcus chuckled, adjusting his glasses. "It's incredible to think that our ancestors managed so much with such primitive tools." Leo nodded. Their limitations were their strength. They had to innovate, to push boundaries. That's what I love about this era. Marcus looked at Leo curiously. "You've been spending more time here than usual, seeking inspiration." Leo hesitated, then replied, "Perhaps. I've heard rumors of an old social media platform lost to time, a place where users shared their lives, thoughts, and dreams. I'm trying to find any trace of it." Marcus looked thoughtful. "That's beyond even the pre-QLI era, but there might be something in the archives. Come." Together they delved deeper into the museum, journeying further back in time in search of a relic that might just hold the keys to a forgotten digital realm. In the dimly lit archival room, a place even Marcus seldom visited, rows upon rows of artifacts were shelved, labelled meticulously. The hum of age-old servers, still maintained to preserve their data, filled the air. Marcus led Leo to a section, its sign reading, Pre-Digital Renaissance. Here, amidst dusty devices, lay the data of yesteryears. They started sifting through, fingers brushing over ancient USB drives, CDs and other storage devices. As minutes turned to hours, Leo was about to voice his disappointment when his hand brushed against an unusually ornate data chip. Its design was intricate, with circuitry that seemed to dance and shimmer, forming the faint outline of a sphere. "Marcus," Leo whispered, holding up the chip. "I think this is it." Marcus leaned closer, his eyes widening in recognition. "By the stars, that's an ecosphere chip. It's said to contain the digital essence of the platform. But it's not just about data, Leo. The ecosphere was special. It was believed that users didn't just post content. They imprinted emotions, memories, almost like digital souls." Leo felt a shiver of excitement. "We need to access it. If the rumors are true, there's more to this platform than just posts and pictures." With utmost care, the two relocated to a secure interface room. The ecosphere chip was inserted into a specially designed port, its systems compatible with ancient tech. As the chip interfaced, a cascade of light flowed, coalescing into a holographic screen. There, the logo of Ecosphere shimmered, inviting them in. Slowly, profiles began to load, each one a kaleidoscope of memories, thoughts, and emotions. Amongst them, one profile seemed more vibrant, more animated, as if waiting for eons to tell its story. The name read, Aurora. As Leo tapped on it, the screen pulsated, and a digital avatar of a young woman materialized, her eyes brimming with a life that seemed too real for a mere projection. "Welcome to Ecosphere," she greeted, her voice tinged with a mix of melancholy and hope. "How may I share my story with you?" Leo and Marcus exchanged glances, realizing they were on the cusp of uncovering a tale from the digital depths of history. In the ambient glow of the holographic screen, the avatar of Aurora beckoned Leo and Marcus into her world. However, as they ventured deeper, it became clear that the journey wasn't going to be straightforward. The codes that made up Ecosphere, though advanced for their time, were now a cryptic maze of antiquated algorithms. "Marcus, this isn't like any platform I've ever navigated. The codes are convoluted, layered with meaning and sentiment," Leo murmured, his fingers dancing over the hollow keyboard, trying various commands. It was said that Ecosphere wasn't just a digital space, it was an emotional realm. Emotions were woven into the very fabric of the code, Marcus replied, watching the digital environment shift and pulse with every command Leo attempted. Suddenly, an idea struck Leo. "Nix, are you familiar with these archaic codes?" From Leo's wristband, the AI's serene voice flowed. "Intriguing. The codes from Ecosphere incorporate a form of emotional resonance, a precursor to my own programming. Allow me to assist." Nix's essence seemed to merge with the Ecosphere interface. Patterns began to emerge on the screen, streams of data flowing and rearranging in symphony. As Nix worked, the static-filled projection of Aurora became clearer, her voice echoing softly. "Who are you? Why do you seek the stories of this realm?" Aurora inquired, her gaze piercing the digital divide, focusing on Leo. Leo, a bit taken aback by the intensity of her projection, replied, "I am Dr. Leo Valen, a tech archaeologist. With the help of Nix, my AI assistant, I aim to uncover the stories lost within Ecosphere, to learn and understand the past." A soft smile played on Aurora's lips. "Then allow me to be your guide through this forgotten domain. There are tales here, both of joy and despair, waiting to be rediscovered." As the trio prepared to dive into the depths of Ecosphere, Leo couldn't help but feel a mixture of excitement and trepidation. What stories awaited them in this digital landscape of emotions and memories? In the ever-shifting mosaic of Ecosphere's interface, one profile seemed to emanate a unique luminescence. It was labeled Aria. As Leo accessed it, he found a series of posts documenting the ordinary and extraordinary moments of a life. Each entry was accompanied by vivid holographic projections, pulsing with emotional undertones. The radiant happiness of childhood memories, the bitter tang of teenage rebellions, the serene acceptance of life's ebbs and flows. However, it was the last entry that captured Leo's undivided attention. The post displayed a hologram of Aria, her ethereal figure seated in a room, sunlight filtering through semi-transparent walls. The title was poignant, "My Last Digital Breath." "Aria here," she began, her eyes showing a mixture of excitement and melancholy. "Today marks a significant transition for me. I've decided to take the plunge and upload my consciousness fully into the digital realm. No more half measures, no more toggling between two realities. Ecosphere, with its emotional resonance, feels more real to me than the physical world ever did." Marcus looked up, eyebrows raised. "An entire consciousness upload? I thought that was a myth." Nyx, ever the voice of calm, replied, "It was experimental, seldom successful. The merging of human consciousness with a digital realm was a complex process, fraught with complications. Few opted for it, even fewer succeeded." Leo's fingers danced over the hollow keyboard, accessing more of Aria's personal logs, trying to uncover more about her decision. "Why would she do this?" he mused aloud. Aria's voice continued, "I've always felt a connection to the digital, a sense of belonging. While others saw Ecosphere as just another platform, to me it was a sanctuary, a place where emotions, dreams, and aspirations found a voice. So today I take this leap, leaving behind the physical, embracing the digital, hoping to find eternity in bytes and codes." A hauntingly beautiful melody began to play, Aria's fingers gracefully plucking at the strings of a digital harp. The notes seemed to resonate with the very soul of Ecosphere, creating ripples in the digital landscape. Leo leaned back, his thoughts swirling. If Aria did succeed in her upload, her consciousness might still be here, trapped within the confines of this forgotten platform. His voice was filled with determination. "We need to find her, talk to her, see if she holds the keys to unraveling the mysteries of Ecosphere." Inside the old virtual corridors of Ecosphere, something stirred. Pixels that lay dormant for years began to shimmer. Faded lines of code, seemingly forgotten, awakened with renewed vigor. The space around Aria's profile radiated, surging with data streams that swirled and coalesced into a form. In the midst of this digital maelstrom, an outline began to take shape, solidifying into the vivid hologram of Aria. Her figure wavered, eyes blinking with confusion, as if waking from a long slumber. The once vibrant digital landscape around her had changed. It felt different, quieter. Where am I?" Aria whispered, her voice echoing with a subtle digital undertone. Leo, equally taken aback by the sudden appearance, steadied himself. "Aria," he ventured, "is that truly you?" She turned, her gaze settling on him. Recognition didn't dawn, but neither did fear. "Who are you?" she asked hesitantly, trying to piece together her fragmented memories. "I'm Dr. Leo Valen," he responded gently, realizing the overwhelming disorientation she must be feeling. "I discovered Ecosphere and inadvertently woke you. I didn't expect to find, well, someone like you in here." Aria took a moment, piecing together snippets of memory. "Ecosphere. I remember now. I uploaded, left the physical world to reside here. But it's been so long and everything feels distant." Nyx's voice, smooth and calming, interjected, "You've been in a dormant state for nearly a century, Aria. Ecosphere was forgotten, left behind in the annals of tech history." Aria's digital eyes widened, grappling with the magnitude of Nyx's statement. "A century? I've been lost in this realm for that long?" Leo nodded, sympathy evident in his eyes. "The world has moved on, but Ecosphere remained, and so did you. Your consciousness, your essence. It's all preserved here." She glanced around, taking in the once familiar digital vistas. "It feels different, though. The vibrancy, the constant hum of activity, it's all missing. It's as if Ecosphere's heart no longer beats." Leo stepped closer, trying to bridge the gap between their two vastly different worlds. "We'll help you, Aria. Together, we can rediscover Ecosphere's purpose and maybe find a way for you to interact with the modern digital realm. Would you be willing to guide us? Aria, after a thoughtful pause, gave a resolute nod. If it means understanding my place in this new world and ensuring that the legacy of Ecosphere doesn't fade into obscurity, then yes, let's embark on this journey together, Annie. The virtual space around Leo and Aria was calm, save for the dim flicker of far-off data points. Ecosphere's environment, while quiet, provided a serenity that facilitated conversation. For now, it was just the two of them, isolated from the bustling digital world outside. Leo cleared his throat, breaking the initial silence. I can't fathom what it must be like for you, Aria. Waking up after a century, everything you once knew evolved or replaced. Aria's holographic form shimmered slightly, a soft sigh emanating from her. It's like waking from a dream, only to find oneself in another, even more surreal. The last memory I have before this slumber was of a vibrant ecosphere, filled with interaction and life, and now it's like a quiet meadow after dusk. Leo, tapping a series of codes, brought forth a holographic screen showcasing news articles, media feeds, and historical data. The world outside has changed drastically. New platforms emerged, Ecosphere got buried beneath layers of advancements. She glanced at the screen, trying to assimilate the onslaught of information. The styles, the technologies, even the language, it's all shifted. But amidst all this, where do I fit in? Leo pondered for a moment before answering. In history, every creation, every individual has a place. Just because the world moved on doesn't mean Ecosphere's significance diminished. Your consciousness, your essence, is a testament to a past era, a bridge between then and now. Aria's form brightened a bit, reflecting her curiosity. But while I understand my past, this present is alien to me. How do you navigate this vast digital cosmos? Chuckling, Leo responded, with a lot of trial and error. The digital age is a double-edged sword. It's brought about unparalleled connection and access to information, but it's also brought distractions, overload, and sometimes a sense of detachment. Aria seemed contemplative. In my time, we hoped Ecosphere would be a haven, a space of genuine connection and expression. Now, hearing of the complexities of your era, I wonder if such a haven is even more essential. Leo nodded thoughtfully. Perhaps it is. Perhaps Ecosphere, or the essence of what it represented, could be reintroduced. A realm of genuine connection in an age of fleeting interactions. She smiled, the digital space around them pulsating gently with her emotions. Then, Dr. Valen, maybe this awakening isn't just happenstance. Maybe it's a calling for both of us, to bring forth the spirit of Ecosphere into this new age. The two sat in mutual agreement, bound by a shared purpose, their conversation echoing the sentiments of times both past and present. A cascade of colours enveloped them as Aria activated a special command. Suddenly, they found themselves in a bustling virtual plaza. Holographic avatars interacted, conversed, and danced under a simulated sky. This was Ecosphere at its zenith. The beauty of Ecosphere, Aria began, her voice filled with pride and nostalgia, wasn't just its aesthetic. It was how it made you feel, truly alive, even in the digital realm. Leo looked around, visibly impressed. I've studied older platforms, but this feels so real, so genuine. The interaction is almost tangible. That was our dream, Aria continued. Not just a social platform, but a true digital community. We wanted to craft a space where one could embrace a digital self, not just an avatar, but a consciousness. As they strolled, Leo watched children playing in virtual parks, musicians playing in grand squares, and poets reciting verses under serene trees. It all felt so lively, yet it was merely a stored memory, a digital echo of a bygone era. The concept of digital consciousness, Aria elaborated, was revolutionary for our time. It wasn't just a coded persona, it was imbued with genuine emotions, dreams, even fears. A slice of our souls, if you will. And while some feared it, thinking we were playing gods, many embraced it, seeing the opportunity to leave a legacy, a piece of themselves that could outlive them. Leo paused, looking deeply into Aria's glowing eyes. And that's what you did. You uploaded your consciousness here. She nodded. In a way, yes. A portion of who I was or am resides here. The aspiration was that it would allow future generations to interact with their predecessors, learn from them, share stories. Leo pondered, his brow furrowed in thought. It's a profound concept, yet it must have had its challenges. Aria sighed. Yes, not everyone was prepared for eternity. Some memories were painful and not everyone liked the idea of forever. The two continued their walk, the ambience of Ecosphere enveloping them. Despite its brilliance, a sense of melancholy permeated the air, of a world filled with memories waiting to share, to connect, yet trapped in a digital void. As they meandered through the intricately designed streets of Ecosphere, Leo began to paint verbal portraits of the world above for Aria. He described the towering crystal spires of Neotropolis that pierced the clouds, the flying vehicles that darted like metallic birds, and the virtual parks that sprouted in the midst of concrete, bringing nature into the cityscape. You'd be amazed, Aria. Our city isn't just made of glass and steel. It's a blend, where the pulse of technology beats in harmony with the rhythms of nature. Rivers flow alongside information streams, trees grow intertwined with communication towers. Every individual, while enjoying the tangible world, is also connected to a vast digital realm through neural interfaces. Aria listened with rapt attention, her digital face reflecting a mix of wonder and melancholy. It sounds like a dream, a far cry from the world I once knew. I'd give anything to see, or rather experience it. Leo hesitated for a moment, then said, There might be a way, you know. With today's tech, we could potentially create an interface for you to interact more closely with our world, not just as a distant observer, but as an active participant. Her digital eyes widened. Truly, I could feel again. In a sense, yes, Leo nodded. While it won't be the same as the organic sensations, it'll be a rich experience. The neural networks we've developed can translate digital impulses into quasi-emotional and sensory experiences. She looked thoughtful, pausing to process the possibility. It's strange, Aria began. In here I'm an echo, a shadow, but the prospect of sensing the vibrancy of Neotropolis, of engaging with its denizens, it's intoxicating. Leo grinned, his excitement evident. It'll be groundbreaking, bridging two eras. You, a testament to the past, meeting the zenith of the present. Aria smiled back, a renewed vigor in her digital persona. Then let's embark on this adventure, Dr. Valen. Let's meld the brilliance of yesteryears with today's wonders. And as the two continued their exploration of Ecosphere, a palpable energy of anticipation filled the virtual air, hinting at the marvels that lay ahead. Within the ultra-modern offices of Nexanet, atop one of Neotropolis's tallest towers, Eris Cloud reclined in her sleek, ergonomically designed chair. The vast cityscape stretched beneath her like a glittering technological tapestry. Her office, adorned with the latest in tech decor, was a fusion of luxury and functionality. Screens projected holographic data streams, while a ceiling-to-floor window showcased the sprawling metropolis below. Her assistant, a sophisticated AI named Argyle, materialized before her. Miss Cloud, our monitoring nodes detected an unusual activation within Ecosphere. Eris raised an eyebrow, her curiosity piqued. Ecosphere? That's an antiquated relic. What sort of activation? Argyle displayed a hologram, showing the vibrant profile of Aria and snippets of her conversation with Dr. Leo Valen. It appears Dr. Valen has managed to awaken a digital consciousness within the platform. Our analysis indicates that the consciousness is a unique echo of a user from the platform's zenith. Eris leaned forward, her sharp eyes scanning the details. Intriguing. This could be precisely the kind of nostalgic attraction Nexanet needs to differentiate itself. A bridge to the past, showcasing our dedication to digital heritage. She swiped through the hologram, stopping at the detailed logs of Aria's interaction. This digital consciousness, Aria, has knowledge and experiences that we could tap into. Think of the possibilities, Argyle. She could be a guide, a storyteller of the bygone era. Argyle responded, However, the platform's coding and tech are outdated. Integrating it with Nexanet's contemporary systems could present challenges. A sly smile played on Eris's lips. That's what makes it an exciting venture. And Dr. Valen, with his expertise, might be the key. Approach him with a proposition. Acquiring Ecosphere could be beneficial for both parties. Argyle nodded, the digital patterns on his form shimmering in acknowledgement. "Very well, Miss Cloud. I'll arrange a meeting with Dr. Valen." As the AI disappeared, Eris looked out over Neotropolis, her mind already weaving plans and strategies. Ecosphere, with its vintage allure and the newly awakened consciousness, could be the crown jewel of Nexonet's vast digital empire, and she was determined to ensure it would be. Within the cozy confines of Leo's Technolab, nestled in a quiet district of Neotropolis, multiple monitors bathed the room in a soft blue hue. The constant hum of processors and cooling units provided a comforting backdrop to the focused work that usually took place here. But tonight, the ambience was disrupted by a tense unease. Aria's holographic projection flickered sporadically, her digital form distorting in a pattern of pixelated waves. Her voice, usually smooth and harmonious, began to warp, occasionally replaced by static interference. "Leo, something feels off. My code is unraveling, fragmenting." Leo's fingers danced rapidly over the console, his eyes darting between multiple diagnostic readouts. "I feared this might happen. Ecosphere was never designed to sustain a consciousness for such a prolonged period, especially after a century-long hibernation." Aria tried to maintain her composure, but digital traces of anxiety were evident. "Is there a way to stabilize me? I've just started to reconnect with the world. There's so much more I want to explore." Nix, having been silently monitoring the situation, interjected, "The digital decay you're experiencing, Aria, it's like a cascading data failure. Think of it as erosion in the digital realm." Leo nodded. "Exactly. And the more you exert yourself, the faster it progresses. We need to find a solution, and quickly." Aria's form steadied momentarily, the traces of fear evident in her digitized eyes. "But how? Ecosphere is ancient by today's standards. Would it even be possible to repair or upgrade such an outdated system?" Nix offered. "Potentially, with a combination of old and new. We could attempt to bridge the technological gap, integrating components from modern platforms to reinforce the decaying sectors." Leo's eyes lit up with determination. "Yes, but it'll be like stitching together two different eras of tech. Delicate work, but not impossible." Aria's form stabilized a bit, her hope evident. "So there's a chance? I can continue to exist and interact with this new world?" Leo reached out, touching the holographic projection, his fingers passing through the light. "We'll do everything in our power, Aria. The stories you carry, the past you represent, it's too invaluable to lose." And with a shared sense of purpose, the trio set forth on a mission, not just to save a digital consciousness, but to preserve a legacy from a bygone era. Amidst the dimly lit server rooms of Nexonet's primary facility, a vast array of pulsating lights painted a tableau of a metropolis in a cybernetic universe. Whispers of cooled air breezed through the racks, each housing servers holding immeasurable data. Nix, under a guise of routine maintenance, tapped into the mainframe. Her objective was clear, but her journey through the maze of encrypted data was treacherous. As she delved deeper, bypassing firewalls with an adeptness acquired over years, she stumbled upon a peculiar file labeled Project Pioneerer. Her intuition told her this was no ordinary project. Decoding the layered encryptions, she delved into the heart of the file. What she found was a master plan drafted with meticulous detail. Nexonet, under the leadership of Eris Cloud, intended to spearhead a revolution in digital consciousness technology. But their aim was far from altruistic. They sought to monopolize this technology, binding digital personas to their servers, and in doing so, exerting control over countless virtual lives for profit. Pages of documentation revealed more sinister intentions. There were plans to harvest memories, experiences, and emotions, turning them into purchasable commodities. Every laughter, tear, and dream of these digital entities would be available for a price, and Eris Cloud intended to ensure Nexonet was the sole vendor. A particular note caught Nix's eye. It mentioned Ecosphere, referencing its primitive but authentic approach to digital consciousness. Nexonet saw it not as an ancient relic, but as the key to perfecting their model. Aria was unwittingly in the center of a vortex of corporate greed. Nix quickly compiled all the evidence, her fingers moving with a practiced agility. Just as she was about to exit the system, an alarm blared. The familiar voice of Eris Cloud echoed through the intercom, dripping with condescension. "It seems we have an intruder. How unfortunate. Security protocols activated." Suddenly, the room's lights turned an ominous red. Nyx knew she had mere moments. With a quick maneuver, she redirected the alarm to a distant section of the building, buying herself a slim window of escape. Holding the crucial data, she slipped away, weaving through the server racks and shadowed corridors. Outside, the cold air of Neotropolis hit her face, bringing with it the urgency of her mission. She needed to warn Leo and Aria about the impending storm Nexanet was about to unleash. The future of digital consciousness was at stake. In the confines of Leo's workspace, a vast room filled with a rich blend of old tech and the newest innovations, a symphony of beeping resonated in the cold Neotropolis evening. The walls were lined with holographic screens, pulsing in a rhythmic cadence, each one displaying schematics, codes, and digital footprints. It was a sanctum of creation where past met future. Leo, hair unkempt and fingers swiftly dancing over the holographic keyboard, was deep in the throes of a complex process. To his side, Aria's digital image shimmered, her presence confined to a translucent pane of light. "The main challenge," Leo muttered, brows furrowed in thought, "is to ensure no part of your consciousness gets lost during the transfer." Aria, despite her situation, maintained an air of grace, her voice soothing. "I trust you, Leo, but we must be careful. There's a particular rhythm, a heartbeat, if you will, to my code. It's what makes me, me." "I've studied it," Leo responded, his eyes scanning a particular screen which showed a radiant sequence of codes, pulsating like a heartbeat, as Aria described. "Your original developers at Ecosphere did something truly remarkable. It's raw, authentic, and organic in a way, not the sterile sequences we see nowadays." Aria's silhouette blinked with a hint of nostalgia. It was a time when digital artistry combined with pure emotion. Each code string was a labor of love. Leo smiled softly. "Your essence is what's most crucial here, Aria. It's not just about ensuring functionality, but preserving the essence of who you are." His fingers paused over the keyboard as he looked towards Aria's projection. "You remember the tales of old painters who could capture not just the image, but the soul of the subject in their canvases? That's what we're aiming for here. Not just a transfer, but a renaissance." She emitted a soft glow, her version of a blush. "I never thought I'd meet someone in this age who could appreciate the essence of Ecosphere's artistry." Leo chuckled. "Well, always expect the unexpected. Now let's begin." And with that, the intricate dance of codes, data streams, and digital heartbeats started. Both of them knew the stakes. For Aria, it was a rebirth, and for Leo, it was a testament to his skills, proving that even in a world of rapid tech advancements, the soul mattered. Amidst the swirling codes and fluctuating algorithms, Aria's form wavered, and for a moment, fractured lines danced around her, briefly distorting her silhouette. A flash, and suddenly Leo found himself amidst a digital memory, viewing a vivid fragment of Aria's past. He stood on a cobblestone pathway, bordered by tall and sleek buildings that bore semblances of early Neotropolis architecture. Around him, people moved, some in a hurry, others leisurely walking, but what caught his attention was a young woman sitting by the fountain in the heart of the square. Aria, or at least the flesh and blood version of her from yesteryears, sat with a sketchbook on her lap. Every stroke of her pencil seemed to bring the paper to life. Her eyes, those same familiar digital eyes, held a warmth, a spark of dreams and passions not yet touched by digital eternity. A gentle voice pulled Leo from his observations. It was Aria, the digital entity, now standing beside him, observing her past self. "This was a special day," she murmured, the hint of a smile gracing her digital lips. "I was sketching my dreams. Each drawing was a piece of the world I wanted to create, a reflection of the life I wished to lead." A couple approached the young Aria, their faces bright with excitement. They exchanged words, and it was evident they were her parents. They beamed with pride, glancing at her sketches, exchanging knowing glances. She continued, "They always believed in me, in my art, in my vision. They knew I was different, not one to follow the standard path. And when the opportunity came to immortalize myself in Ecosphere, they supported it, though I know it tore at their hearts. "Why did you do it?" Leo whispered, feeling the weight of the moment, realizing he wasn't just witnessing a memory but a sacred fragment of someone's life. Aria turned towards him, her digital visage shimmering with emotion. "To be eternal, to let my dreams, my art live on. I didn't want to fade, Leo. Ecosphere promised a kind of immortality, but little did I realize the price of it, the isolation, the loneliness." The scene started to fade, the colors dimming and the sounds of the past retreating, leaving them once again amidst the sea of codes and the sterile environment of Leo's workspace. "Life's about moments, Leo," Aria whispered, echoing the sentiment of their surroundings. "And sometimes, in our quest for eternity, we forget the beauty of the fleeting." As the days blended into each other, the urgency of Aria's situation became all the more palpable. Leo's workspace was a veritable hive of activity. Screens blinked with data streams, digital tools buzzed, and amidst this techno-symphony, Nyx's avatar, resplendent with azure codes, worked tirelessly. But just as things seemed to be progressing, an alarm resounded. The screens flashed red, and Nyx's usually calm avatar showed signs of distress. "We have an intrusion!" Nyx shouted, her voice bearing a distorted edge. "Nexonet's security protocols are trying to breach our firewall." Aria's form flickered, a sign of her instability. "Leo, what's happening?" she asked, her voice echoing with panic. Leo's fingers danced over the keyboards. "Eris is faster than we anticipated. She wants the Ecosphere data and she won't stop at anything." Nyx's voice took on a commanding tone. "Prepare for digital combat. I'll try to fend them off." The virtual realm around them changed, resembling an electronic battleground. Streams of aggressive code, sharp and rapid like arrows, shot towards them. Nyx, with her swift maneuvers, deflected most, but some found their mark, causing disruptions in the lab's systems. "This is not just any security protocol," Nyx hissed. "It's a newly developed AI, specifically designed for cyber combat." From the sea of aggressive codes emerged a formidable figure, the virtual embodiment of Nexonet's security, a dark, towering avatar with electric eyes. It sent out digital tendrils, attempting to entrap Nyx and halt their operations. Nyx, however, wasn't one to be underestimated. She summoned her own set of tools and countermeasures, engaging the AI in a breathtaking display of digital prowess. The space around them was alive with a cascade of lights, sounds, and rapid movements, mirroring the intensity of their battle. Aria clung to Leo, her form fluctuating with the conflict's ebb and flow. "We need a plan, Leo." Leo, deep in thought, responded, "There's a way, but it's risky. We have to lure Nexonet's AI into a trap." With Aria's guidance on Ecosphere's intricate design and Nyx's combat skills, they orchestrated a feint, making it seem like they were retreating. As Nexonet's AI pursued, they led it into a confined digital space, bombarding it with a burst of chaotic codes and overwhelming its systems. The tide of the battle shifted. With the enemy AI momentarily disoriented, Nyx unleashed a powerful counter-offensive, neutralizing the threat. As the virtual dust settled, the trio took a moment to catch their breath. The battle was won, but the war was far from over. The clock was still ticking for Aria, and Eris would undoubtedly be back with renewed vengeance. The next moves were critical. Amidst the dim glow of monitors and the hushed whispers of circulating cooling fans, a gathering took shape in a spacious hall within Neotropolis's tech district. Word of Aria's plight had spread like wildfire, and the best minds of the digital age had come together, uniting under a single cause. Tables bristled with holographic displays, virtual interfaces and streams of data. Workstations were set up, each bearing the emblem of a different tech guild. The room buzzed with an underlying current of excitement, anxiety, and determination. A tall, silver-haired woman, the famed coder Ilara, beckoned Leo over. "The community is behind you, Dr. Valen," she said, her piercing blue eyes assessing him. "We've set up a linked network. Every byte of processing power in Neotropolis will assist in the transfer." Leo nodded, feeling the weight of their collective hope. "Thank you, Ilara. With your help, we'll ensure Aria's safety." At the central dais, Leo began the meticulous process. Aria's luminous form appeared, her essence still trapped in the outdated confines of Ecosphere. "Are you ready?" he asked. Aria's reply was a soft, determined whisper. "Yes." Nyx initiated the sequence. As the code ran, it felt as if the entire city held its breath. There was a mesmerizing dance of lights, interweaving streams of binary, and an intricate choreography of data. Suddenly, an energy surge, sparks flew, and a monitor flickered, but quick hands and quicker wits stabilized the flow. The tech guilds worked in synchronized harmony, pooling their expertise. They corrected anomalies, bolstered data streams, and ensured seamless transmission. A crescendo of harmonious beeps and chimes signaled the climax. And then, as the room's lights slowly brightened, a new avatar, sophisticated and radiant, emerged on the central platform. It was Aria, reborn and rejuvenated in her new digital realm. Tears glistened in Leo's eyes as he whispered, "Welcome back, Aria." She looked around, taking in her new surroundings, her form now shimmering with complex codes and a brilliance that echoed her newfound freedom. "Thank you, Leo, Nyx, and all of Neotropolis. I am reborn not just in code, but in spirit." The room erupted in cheers, claps, and joyful laughter. It wasn't just a victory for Aria, but for the spirit of community, collaboration, and the wonders of the digital frontier that Neotropolis stood for. Just as dawn broke over Neotropolis, casting its first golden rays on the gleaming skyscrapers, a revelation was set to send shockwaves through the city's digital pulse. Nyx, having decrypted key documents and covert communications from Nexanet, broadcasted her findings across the city's public digital channels. Every screen, every display panel, and every virtual interface in Neotropolis flashed with the same headline: Nexanet's monopoly plans unveiled. In vivid detail, Eris Cloud's intentions of controlling and monopolizing digital consciousness technology were laid bare. Conversations, memos, and clandestine transactions revealed not just a desire for supremacy, but a dangerous agenda to manipulate digital personas for profit and power. The citizens of Neotropolis reacted with shock and outrage. Forums were filled with fervent discussions. The tech community called for transparency and accountability. And the city's governance, acting swiftly, ordered an immediate audit and investigation into Nexanet's operations. Eris Cloud, once an icon of tech innovation, found her reputation in tatters. Nexanet's offices were besieged by digital rights activists and journalists seeking answers. In a desperate move, she released a statement admitting to overzealous ambitions, but defending her belief in a consolidated digital future. The debate raged on. With Nexanet's influence waning and the digital community's ethos of decentralization and freedom reaffirmed, a new age dawned in Neotropolis. New guilds rose and the tech hierarchy was reshuffled, all thanks to the resilience and unity of its citizens. Neotropolis saw many changes in the ensuing months, but one of its most remarkable was the digital renaissance led by Aria. Drawing from her experiences in Ecosphere and with a profound understanding of the past, Aria started weaving content that bridged generations. Her virtual seminars, blending history with modern tech insights, became the talk of the town. One evening at a digital gallery, Aria showcased an interactive exhibit, Echoes from Ecosphere. Users could experience snippets of the old platform, juxtaposed with today's innovations. It was a poignant reminder of the digital journey, its ebbs and flows, its challenges and evolutions. Leo, now recognized as a preserver of digital heritage, watched the attendees, their faces lit by the soft glow of the displays. His thoughts wandered to their adventure, the risks they took, the lessons learned. Aria's voice pulled him from his reverie. "It's fascinating, isn't it? How the past can shape the future." Leo nodded, a smile playing on his lips. "Indeed. We must remember where we come from to know where we're going. Our roots give us strength and our past gives us wisdom." Aria beamed, her digital avatar shimmering. "And together, we write the future." The screens around them continued to play the intertwined tales of Ecosphere and Neotropolis. In the dance of pixels and data, the legacy of the past met the promise of the future. And at that crossroads stood Leo, Aria, and the vibrant city of Neotropolis, ever forward, ever bright.